We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. We're talking about day 2 of the Journeymen Collegiate Wrestling duels. Another shout out to Coach Peel out there.
That's two.
Two back-to-back
Just
video.
because we know, he said something to Mike today. And,
That
Yeah, he said he loves the channel,
we've
so
known you for like, what, 20 years? So,
it's been a while, yeah. So hey, no, we really are glad that you enjoy it, and yeah, shout
Hope
out
you stay
man.
tuned for the SWC ranking videos.
Yeah, okay, because we're making those.
you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised to hear New Milford is not number one. Talking to a guy who's well removed from the.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying it because I'm not in the Connecticut wrestling scene anymore. Anyway, let's dive in. So we are talking about the other group of 4 teams wrestling at this event. So if you watched our part 1 video, you'll have seen Cornell, Iowa State, Pitt, and Little Rock. Day 2, we're going to see NC State, Lock Haven, Northern Iowa, and Ohio State. Now, this one, there's really kind of one major matchup. Maybe Lock Haven versus UNI might be competitive, but I think both Ohio State and NC State will pretty much dominate the other 2 teams. Whereas in the first group before, it was kind of Little Rock on the outs, I think. Is that fair?
As a team matchup, yeah.
Yeah, as team matchups. But there are some individual matchups that could be very interesting, and I'm very excited about that. I think this might be one of the marquee matchups of the entire event is 125, Jacob Camacho versus Anthony Noto, just for the story that it is, because Anthony Noto wrestled at NC State, transferred out, and then like has beef with Pat Pop. And I think when they wrestled like last year or something, like he made some gesture towards Pat Pop, right?
Yeah, no, it was like a whole thing.
Do you remember Kevin Jack was like, "That's it, we're teching everybody now."
Yeah, and then they didn't tech anybody.
No, they didn't. But that was still cool for Kevin to say that.
Yeah. Way to go. So I mean, what are you gonna say? What do you think? Because right now, like not Flow, but Internet has Camacho ranked number 1 after beating Matt Ramos. But Matt Ramos has lost a couple of matches now, and Camacho's only big win is against Ramos.
Yeah.
So if he beats Noto, maybe there's an argument to stay at number 1. But
yeah, I honestly, Noto's going to be out for blood. He's got something went wrong at NC State where that he left and he had that beef last year. So I think Noto's going to be looking to like kill Kamacho. Like he's going to be looking to just try and beat him as badly as he possibly can, just to try and make a statement again against NC State and be like, yeah, see. But
I honestly think that this matchup's not even going to happen, though. I think Camacho's not going to wrestle.
I was about to ask, who do you think's going to duck?
Because NC State's going to win the duel anyway.
Yeah. You think they throw out Tremblay?
I think just to piss off Noto even more.
But Tremblay didn't even wrestle at Vegas, so they sent out like Holman or something.
It doesn't matter. Because Pat Pop, he's probably well aware that Noto's got this grudge out for him. And he's going to be like, no, I'm not giving you the satisfaction. You have to wait.
He's going to send out someone else.
And Camacho didn't wrestle at Vegas, so
he was preparing for this event.
Just to not wrestle.
just to duck Noto.
He was only at NC State for 1 year.
A lot happened in that 1 year.
Yeah. It was 1 year was more than enough, it seems. So
I don't know, but if we do see it, who do you think? You think Noto?
I think Noto.
If it does happen and Noto wins, who's ranked number 1 at 125?
Or do you think Noto transfers back to NC State and kicks Camacho out?
He transfers back. Yeah, right.
I think Provo's still going to be number 1 regardless. He should be, in my opinion.
Who?
Provo.
Provo, yeah, I think
But
Provo.
Noto's loss to Ramos doesn't count in the rankings.
No,
That's true.
in my emotional rankings, they do.
Well, so then maybe Noto. My emotional
I don't know.
rankings.
125 is such a crapshoot. Still, it's pretty wild.
Yeah,
So
that's going to be a bracket that NCAAs is just going to get busted like left and right.
So drop a comment down below. Who's going to win between Jacob Camacho and Anthony Noto? My prediction, honestly, I hate to say it, but I have like 5% chance hope that this is actually going to happen. I don't think Camacho's going to wrestle.
Yeah, I hope he does because then that makes like that's two of the top guys right now for that weight. That we want that matchup.
Everyone wants it, and yet,
Will we see it?
well, we see it. So going to NC State versus UNI, Dylan Fishback is an exciting young wrestler at 184. He'll have a crack at Parker Kekheisen, who does not duck matches.
Yeah, I think Parker probably is going to major him.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking so good this year.
Yeah, yeah, he looks untouchable. Even Truex throwing all those tricks wasn't enough. So
So so those were kind of two matchups that we saw for uh the other two teams, UNI and Lock Haven. But what we really wanted to primarily go over in this video was NC State versus Ohio State. These are two top 10 teams. As you can see on WrestleStat, NC State's ranked number 2, Ohio State's number 7. So we're just going to go.
Ohio State is trying to join the ACC by wrestling a full ACC schedule in addition to their Big Ten schedule.
I know that's so funny. They wrestled Virginia Tech, Pitt, and now NC State.
Yeah, like they only need to wrestle like 3 or 4 more teams, and they got the whole ACC and like UNC and oh crap,
Duke,
yeah, Duke,
Virginia,
Duke and Virginia, yeah, and
in
then
North
they
Carolina. North Carolina.
yeah, UNC, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So starting at 125, Camacho versus Macron.
if it even is Camacho,
Well, yeah, they have a 9-7. I mean, I feel like people put Camacho on this high pedestal, but you got to remember he's never even All-American.
I know, yeah. So like, and then well, he kind of catapulted himself up there with the Ramos win, but like,
Yeah, but it's people have said been there, done that already.
I, yeah, that's true.
His teammate almost did that at NCAA's last year, and no one was hemming and hawing about that.
Did what?
Beat him. Remember, Trombley nearly beat
Oh,
Ramos
yeah, that's true.
at
Trombley,
NCAA's.
that's right.
Like Matt
That's
Ramos shouldn't even have been in the semis. Like he's won his previous 2 matches. Buzzer.
buzzer beater. Yeah, it was. Yeah, those were some
Not to
wild.
take anything away from Matt Ramos, he's an incredible wrestler, and
Yeah,
I'm surprised if he made a title run. But I'm just saying, like people have taken it to him.
yeah.
So
But I mean, if it is Camacho on Macron, based on how Camacho's come out so far this season, I'd give him the edge. If it's not Camacho, then I think Macron probably will win.
yeah, Macron, I don't feel like he has the offense enough to take it. Camacho
Yeah.
likes to score points, so that'll
This
be
is a cool matchup here.
yeah. So Arini versus Nick Bouzakis, and we were kind of writing off Nick Bouzakis. Uh,
I don't know what to make of Nick Bouzakis because like he loses the guys, and I'm like, you lost to that guy? What? And then he's like Vegas. He went on like that crazy run all the way back up through the consolation. So it was like, I,
well, so Arini won Vegas.
right, and Bouzakis did not. Bouzakis took what, third, I think.
He did. He busted all the way back and took 3rd place.
Yeah, he outplaced the guy that beat him
And what's
from New England, Tyler Knox.
what's promising too is that he's adjusted. Like he took a loss to Vince Santaniello of Pitt, and then he avenged that loss, didn't give up a single
Yeah,
take.
and that was only like less than a month.
Right. So the resilience that we've seen with Buzakis early on is really promising. He's been battle tested. He had a nice close match with Sam Latona, um, scored a takedown on him. But I mean, Arini's tough. I don't
I
think
would
he's
put
quite
my money on
there.
Arini until Buzakis can prove otherwise. Like I wouldn't say it's like it's a lock. There's no way Arini ever loses to Buzakis, but I think Buzakis is going to lose.
I did too, yeah. So down to 141, we saw this. This was the finals of Vegas. Interesting rematch here. Mendes versus Ryan Jack, 5-2
I mean,
at
I think
Vegas.
for me the biggest surprise with that matchup was that Mendes didn't continue his bonus point streak,
And
especially after seeing he majored Brock Hardy. Like I was like, if you can major Brock Hardy, you're probably going to major Ryan Jack. But then that was not the case.
well, and Mendes is going to be riding a losing streak. He lost to Cole Matthews. Quick input: Buzakis versus Arini.
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 Yeah.
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 Uh,
Oh yeah.
I think Buzakis is going to bounce back towards the end of the season. I think he's just trying to find his footing, and he's not where he should probably be, and he probably knows that. And he's going to make adjustments as the season progresses. It's just early in the season. But Arini's a tested guy.
Mm. What about Buzak and Macron on Camacho?
Kamacho,
What if it's not Camacho?
Macron.
Okay, that's the same conclusion
yeah,
reached.
Yeah,
So
we're on the same
just
page.
just checking.
Well, so we were just talking about RJ versus Mendes.
man, did RJ have a struggle fest with Mendes the other day? RJ looked really good, but Mendes was on a whole other level that other day. But now, seeing that he lost to Matthews, maybe he's got that chink in the armor. Guys like, okay, if I change my strategy a little bit, but he really did steal that match. It wasn't like a
Yeah.
dominating. Oh, like wow, what a great Matthews performance. It was like Mendes, 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 Matthews.
Yeah, it was literally a takedown with like 8 seconds to go.
Yeah,
So
so
not like
I see him beating RJ again. Maybe
Yeah.
a little closer, maybe a little bit
It could be
further.
closer. Oh.
Maybe. 5-2 is it's a close match, or
I don't think
6-2
it's
is
gonna be closer than 5-2. Like, I mean, I would think
5.
they're gonna be somewhere like that, or maybe Mendes widens the gap.
I feel like the more that RJ wrestles guys, guys kind of figure him out. Saw that last year with like guys like Malik Hines. Like RJ beats him in the season, and then Malik Hines majors him at NCAA's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not ideal.
So
for Ryan Jack at
this
least.
one, this one could be very interesting. I mean, look at the
Yeah,
score at Vegas. I
nine
mean,
eight,
Arrington versus D'Amelio.
9-8 2 weeks ago. So
I mean, it's
I'd say
anyone's match.
it's as big a toss up as can be. Like,
What's impressive about D'Amelio? We were just talking about it. He wrestled Finn Solomon at Pitt and he won. It was like a 12-11 match and he came out on top. He wins those close, high scoring matches. So that has to give him some bonus points. Not like actual bonus points in wrestling, but like, morale points for being able to win those types of matches.
yeah, I would favor D'Amelio here. Because he's coming off the win. It's only been 2 weeks, and uh, you got to go with the guy that won.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to go with the guy that's got the win under his belt already.
Yeah.
So Ed Scott versus Patty Gallagher. I don't know, man. I think Patty
Ed
Gallagher,
Scott's kind of inconsistent lately.
yeah, but I think Patty Gallagher's been looking really, really good.
Yeah, he has. He's bouncing back pretty well from, not a great season last year.
I don't see him beating Ed Scott though.
I don't know. Ed Scott took
Wait,
a
is it
weird loss to
legitimate?
Blaze. I mean, it's totally possible.
But no.
No.
No,
And Ed Scott lost to Peyton Keller, who
that was an
Patty
overtime.
Gallagher beat.
Yeah, but that. I
In the
mean,
same
yeah, I
day.
mean, yeah,
In the
Gallagher
same
could, but
day.
my pick is Ed Scott.
But then Ed Scott majors Bryson Donian, who Patty Gallagher's never beat. So
Yeah, I'm going Ed Scott. Ed Scott took third at Vegas. Like, yeah, he's got the weird losses, but like Gallagher doesn't really have that any big wins. So
yeah, that's fair. Another Connecticut native, AJ Kovacs versus Isaac Wilcox.
That Danbury pipeline.
Three Danbury, Connecticut wrestlers are in the lineup for NC State,
yeah,
but Kovacs has been
bet they're
the
missing out on Gabordi. So
least.
They would be in really good shape if they had Gabordi.
too bad.
What could have been. um, so yeah, Kovacs has been the least productive out of those three. Camacho, Ryan Jack, and Kovacs. I don't think he beats Wilcox here.
Yeah, Wilcox has been pretty solid so far. Like I mean, aside from that major to Heller that he gave up, but Kovacs hasn't. He doesn't have any big wins, so there's no reason to think that Kovacs. Well, I mean, not no reason to think he'd win, but like he doesn't have any big wins, so why would I pick him over Wilcox? I feel like Wilcox has been having a more solid season thus far.
For the Connecticut bias, of course.
What's interesting though is that like they're similar opponents. Kovacs has wrestled them closer than Wilcox has.
Yeah, but they've both lost.
Yeah,
Yeah, they both lost.
Yeah, that's definitely a weak spot for NC State in an otherwise pretty lethal lineup. Going to 74, Alex Fazen versus Hartlaw.
I think Hartzell's like a pretty clear answer for this one.
Yeah, Harchless has been looking really good ever since moving up to 74. Um, he should handle this pretty solid.
Yeah, Fazen's like one claim to fame match was taking Mikhail Lewis to tiebreaker in the ACC finals last year,
That's
but
the ACC
that's
final.
that's more of like a knock on Mikhail
Oh,
Lewis.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Um, so Dylan Fishback, we were talking about him versus Gavin Hoffman. I feel like Gavin Hoffman's definitely fallen off since his NCAA semifinal run at 97 a few years ago.
Yeah, that's very true.
But
Uh, I
Fishback's
think,
been tough.
yeah, I think Fishback beats him.
I could see it. I just don't have a lot of faith in Gavin Hoffman.
Yeah, Hoffman hasn't been like something where it's like, oh, he ain't gonna lose. Like Fishback, Fishback's been, trying to prove himself, and he's been doing pretty well so far as the start of the season, first year out there. So I think Fishback's gonna win here.
That's the safe money.
So Trent Hiley, I think that's pretty fair
This
chance.
is probably
Yeah, you picking Geog?
Yeah.
probably the most confident one I have here.
You're
I mean,
confident in Geog?
the
Yeah,
more that we see Brooks and Hidley, the more they're appearing as a clear number one and two,
Yeah.
unless AJ Ferrari comes back.
I want to see one of them wrestle Buchanan. I want to see how Buchanan stacks up with them. But I don't think any of them have a duel with
Well, Jackson Smith wrestled Hidley pretty tough too.
but did he wrestle Buchanan?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want to see like I don't think Oklahoma has a match against NC State or Ohio State.
You know who probably give Trent Hidley a run for his money is either Trey Parker or Charlie Dunn.
Mm,
Yeah, they're both pretty up and coming wrestlers.
High
sort of.
schoolers. You know, we talk about high schoolers taking out college guys all the time,
Yeah, I think they could do it.
especially from that tough SWC conference.
Yeah, you know how those Connecticut boys get down.
So our last weight is Owen Treffen. Says Nick Feldman on WrestleStat, but
I think he's hurt again.
I think he's still hurt. But
Yeah,
let's say this did happen. Who wins this match?
Feldman.
Feldman. Actually, this might be the toughest opponent Feldman would have wrestled.
Yeah, but Treffen
He
keeps losing.
snuck by Kapka, but then he teched. I
Maybe.
actually would maybe not go with Feldman.
I would go with Feldman.
I would go with Feldman too.
I
But
would go.
Keat
I would go.
Hofstra's own Keaton Kluver.
I would go with Treffen, with Owen Treffen.
If it's Feldman, I'm not going Treffen. If it's anyone else on Ohio State's team, then yeah, I'd go Treffen.
unrelated, but did you guys see that Nebraska bumped Silas Allred to not wrestle Tanner Sloan of
Power move.
South Dakota State?
It's like
No,
ducking, but like
that what?
Yeah, Nebraska was like destroying South Dakota State, and then they just decided to bump Silas Allred to heavyweight to not wrestle Tanner Sloan. Tanner
What?
Sloan like majored the Nebraska backup.
Oh, that's disappointing. I'm not disappointed that that's what he did. It's disappointing that Allred bumped away from him.
But Nebraska's known for doing that.
got to protect those seeds.
What is it benefiting? Like, what is the benefit of doing that? The Big
Ask
Ten
college
champion?
coaches. Well, we'll see. Drop a comment down below. Who's gonna win? So, who do you guys think is gonna win this?
So who did we pick overall? Let's see. We'll start at the so we
Macho,
yeah, we picked
Arini,
Kamacho. We picked
Arini.
Arini.
Mendez. That's
We
2-1.
Mendes. Yeah.
D'Amelio. That's 2-2.
Yeah, yeah.
Ed Scott. I think the majority said right.
Yep. Yep.
3-2. Wilcox 3-3.
Yep.
Harchla 4-3.
Yeah.
Fishback 4-4. Hidley 5-4. And Treffen 6-4.
Oh,
Yeah.
you both picked Treffen?
Well, that's assuming Feldman doesn't wrestle, and I think it's assuming that he does.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think
But
Feldman's gonna wrestle.
I think even
Oh,
if he
yeah,
does,
okay,
I would
yeah,
say
yeah.
Treffen beats him.
so it's
So
either
really-
5-5 if Feldman's in or 6-4 if Feldman's out. But then again, could be back to 5-5 if Camacho's out.
We're ragging on Kamacho, but
Well, I mean, he didn't wrestle at Vegas, so this is like the next event they're going to. It's not unreasonable that he might not be back ready for it.
hey, who's to say that this matchup, Ryan Jack versus Mendes, will happen?
True.
What, you
Just the
think
same
Mendes
as
is gonna
David
bump
Carr,
49?
Julian Ramirez. Like who? There's
Who's
no.
to say?
It'd be so disappointing if that didn't happen.
This 2023-2024 season. People duck now.
But
If
why?
you don't believe that, check out our video.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's all about Penn State.
And now, yeah, they avoid the competition.
So yeah, make sure you drop a comment down below. Who do you think is going to win, Ohio State or NC State? And then what do you think about some of the other matchups, Noto versus Camacho, or just Journeyman Wrestling Event Collegiate Classic altogether? Drop it all in the comments down below, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching Cactus Wrestling. Whoop whoop.
What?
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.